if we want to play around, we can look at different emphases. Say you've got your basic Coup de Catricorn roll. It's an easy speed. What you're aiming for here, to start with, you want to be able to play each buzz equal with no particular emphasis. You don't want a sort of built-in emphasis that you can't avoid. If you want to give emphasis to certain positions, then that should all be intentional. So it's good to practice exercises moving around. I could say that with all these positions, they're a little bit malleable. If you want to do 1.5 turns, this is going away from the 4, but 1.5 turns, so it's a 3 time, you want to do long, short, long, short. You could say, I'll make the long buzz extra long, and I'll make the short extra short, and that would sound quite good. Then it would make sense. You could say, I'm starting on the top, the long buzz, I'm going to go a bit further than the top, a bit forward, then I'm doing a short one. I don't need to travel very far. The same on the bottom. So just to demonstrate that these positions aren't really fixed, you start off with 1, and when you're trying to be even, you're trying to keep them exactly whatever, 90 degrees apart. But when you're changing speeds or doing different emphasis, you can move them around a bit as long as it adds up to a nice musical sound. So going back to the 4, let's put some different emphasis, and you're allowed to move things around a little bit if it helps. So in 4, the obvious first point would be, which maybe you'd be doing anyway, you're putting an emphasis on the top. You're going, or on the bottom. So the other ones become just little buzzes, a little bit of motion, but the main buzz you're travelling further. So of course any ones can be emphasised. A useful thing to play is going around, so you're dividing them into 4, but we're going to play a rhythm in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the emphasis would be on 1, 4, 3, 2. Keep them going around. That's putting every buzz in, making some of them small, some of them bigger. What else could you do with that? You could do a sort of long, short, so you're not putting everyone in. It would be more like long, short. Trying to make them all sound the same. That is, each long, short sounds the same as any other, whatever the position. So that's 2 ways to play that. It's worth also saying you could make that a bit more staccato, couldn't you? You could play it I like it better dragging out the long buzz to make it extra long, but you need to be aware of what you're doing intentionally. What about if we play those 2 and contrast them? So 2 different ways to play with the same setup, same underlying rhythm. The logical thing to do when you're starting to get that is to put some simple left hand with it. Always checking tuning. could play a buzz per note, which we did before. Or we could just play simple repeating pattern, 3 notes, take a sort of arpeggio from D. So options there. It's nice to play really the long, short, and then the putting every buzz in and emphasizing. Switching between the two. If I'm doing a pattern like that, after a while I think, well, there's no brain used for the left hand. I'm getting to grips with the rhythm, with the right fitting. Now I'll start just moving the left hand, probably do the same pattern, go up and down a little bit, which starts to make it more musical too. Perhaps